Alright guys, welcome back to VALORANT News. The final 4 teams going into Masters Shanghai have been officially confirmed, and not necessarily the teams that many of us would have expected going into the tournament. PRX yet again eliminated early days from one of these big international tournaments, once again by a North American team. What is going on with that team? Why does Boostio continue to have their number right now? So many other storylines as well on the day. Who's going to win the entire thing? Very much interested your thoughts in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. I would greatly appreciate it. First of all, some further reaction here to the Screwface versus BabyJ, or now known as Inspire drama. It was effectively Jason R versus Tarek V2. Zekken was having a good time until he got roasted. We talked about it, of course, in yesterday's video, and there were some good reactions, I thought, to this from around the community. You know, BabyJ daughter or Screwface son, it says Effies. And there was also this one. I'd never seen this picture before. I thought it was pretty funny, but Screwface decided to just throw it straight out there. And yeah, here we go. Feeling inspirational today, he says. So these guys cannot help themselves. The drama is probably not going away anytime soon, but it's been talked about already at quite some length. And of course, we did a fair bit of that yesterday. Just quickly on the Na'Vi side, they did not have the result they were looking for coming into this event. They failed to qualify for Masters Shanghai, and as Na'Vi say, they're bringing in Vlad as a new analyst to the team. So yeah, hopefully that works out for them. He's worked with a couple of different organizations before, such as BBL, so yeah, with any luck, that's going to turn their fortunes around to some degree. We also got confirmation on the teams for the show match on Sunday, just before the grand finals. Now, what's happening here is it's played on the new map, right? So we have a pretty deep map pool right now in Valorant. A few of those maps are gone, a few of those maps are still in. Of course, Pearl is not in, Fracture is not in. We've seen Breeze is obviously out the door as well. So there's a few things happening right now, a few changes. I'm not really sure whether I would prefer to see new maps or just to see old maps be revitalized to some extent. The fact that Haven's gone and then obviously changes happening there to come back into the game. It's like you look at some of the legendary Counter-Strike maps, the likes of Overpass. There's so many iterations of the map occurred over like a decade until you get to where it is today, one of the best maps in Counter-Strike. I think there's an argument that says, is it worth keep adding new maps? Or is it worth just trying to properly refine maps that already exist by making certain changes that, you know, they will make in due course, but it might be somewhat slower. Regardless, I'm not, you know, disappointed to see a new map in the game. It's going to be exciting, and the show match is going to be played on that new map. So Team China versus Team International. Lizzie's captaining this one up. Mixwell's captaining up Team International. These are the Team International guys, and I think also worthy of note here was Masayoshi. People really looking forward to seeing him play. And then on the Chinese team, of course, we have the following with Dan King's going to be here, which I thought was pretty cool, of course, because certainly a very notable player in that region. So, you know, they got all sorts of talented players in here. Like, it's going to be an absolute mess, I'm sure, but I'm sure it's going to be rather exciting. All sorts of people from all sorts of different backgrounds. But let's talk about how we got to the final for Shanghai, because they're now going to the Mercedes-Benz Arena, no longer in the arena they've been in so far. And it was between the, well, PRX and 100T, but it wasn't Sentinels, of course, but Sentinels said, like, we've made a graphic because the top 2 selling, let's say, bundles in the entire game, and the Sen bundle was certainly right up there. But as Boostio says, history will repeat itself, and he drops the pig emoji. Now, Riot banned him for bringing the pig on stage anymore, which is, you know, seemed to affect him in the series they played against Gen.G. But in this one, different story indeed. And we saw at the World Championship last year, they played in the grand finals, Evil Geniuses versus PRX. EG got the victory. They take down PRX in the grand finals. Boostio, of course, was a massive part of that, and it continues on again. I think you can tell by this fella's reaction here in the crowd that the way PRX played in these crucial moments was straight up not good enough, incredibly frustrating to watch. And this PRX team is incredibly fascinating to witness because they have team cohesion and chemistry some of the time, but sometimes it just isn't working for them, and you'll see rather often they will, you know, W gaming can go too far, right? And I think we talk about this every so often, and then they'll dominate their own region and we'll think, well, you know, that's probably nothing all that much to it. But then you actually watch them play internationally and you see many of these tournament results happening again and again and again. And, you know, they're choking rounds, they're double swinging and lining up here for Asuna. Obviously, Boostio standing up and getting hyped, right? No piggy to show to the other team, but, you know, nonetheless, I'm sure he was making the point. We saw some crazy rounds here, right? Like, there was another round that Asuna almost, like, aced 1v5'd. But, you know, this was a 1 versus 3 that I mean, like, again, rounds that they should be winning at PRX, but rounds that they most certainly did not win. But regardless, they take it all the way to an overtime, and it's this moment here. This is map 3, absolute banger series, like, so intense on this one. Crow gets a collateral, then something bounces back on the other side. Bang is left in the end in a 1 versus 2, and Bang had so many massive moments here. Crow goes down, something gets 2, something pulls out the jet knives as well, but then Bang 1 versus 2, gotta defuse the bomb. How do you even go about trying to win this round? He hops it, manages to get the first hit coming through the smoke, fakes the defuse again, 1 versus 1, 9 bullets in the magazine, just too damn icy, gets the final kill, gets the defuse, and in the end, 100 Thieves go on to win the game. So just an unbelievable series of Valorant.
He dashes out, but rushing forward. Shorty in hand, push up into the smoke.
Traded. Big push, bottom set. It's a good play by 100 Thieves.
Pushes up with the Sova.
They're so aggressive. This is so good. Maybe GG. Maybe GG.
1 for 1, the decay expiring, Mind Freak.
Unless?
Gets back up towards full HP. Jing now dead. Bang!
GG.
Up into the open.
Wow.
And now it's all on Mind Freak, and he cannot make it.
Oh my god, what a game, dude. What a fucking game. What a sick game. What a sick game. GG. GG. What a sick fucking game. Holy fuck, man. Props to PRX for bringing it back. 11-7, bro. 11-7, they brought it back.
So many great
that was a good match.
On these last 2 maps, this icebox was an absolute treat. But their discipline
really good match.
Pays off in the long run. They are so good at recovering, so good.
It was a good match. It was a good match. It was a really good match.
Going wrong, and PRX, to their credit, was doing great with it too. But the breeze just wasn't enough.
GG, GG.
They fall handily, and then after that, they do great on Sunset, sure, but 100 Thieves, so tenacious on this map.
I would say 100 Thieves look better. Like from the series overall, I would say they look better. But PRX, they just find ways to figure it out. I don't know. I don't know how they win some of these rounds.
Sitting well poised to be able to make an attempt at it. Mental game to bounce back here. 400 Thieves looking astounding.
Big win for 100 Thieves.
Able to take them down in 2-1 fashion.
So we know that 100T have been massively impressive. They signed Boostio, they made progress like every single time that they've played effectively. As he says, that series was insane. We made it to the top 4, all the way to the Mercedes-Benz Arena. And, you know, something going into the series, he was talking a bit of trash, right? Like he drops the piggy emoji as well on the timeline. Of course, there was talk about, oh, here we go, right? You know, have mercy on this team. Boostio's like, oh, what are you talking about? And then, of course, FNS, big fan of PRX to be fair, but after they lost, he was like, yeah, LMAO, nice one, mate. You drop this and then you go on to lose the series anyway. So, like, it was a funny tweet, but wow, what a result. 100T advance, but PRX, they came into this one. Look, Gen.G were also very strong as well, and they are potentially still tournament favourites, as we'll see the bracket here in a second. But coming into this tournament, you've got to think that PRX, this was their chance. I genuinely thought this event was gonna be Pacific's event. Like we've seen for the last several events now, it's either been Fnatic winning, or it's been a North American team winning, or just an America's team in general winning is effectively how it has gone. And for the last 5 international tournaments now, PRX has been eliminated by a North American team. I just think that at times their playstyle, especially in those critical moments at international tournaments, sometimes you need a game plan, you know, and PRX's lack of a game plan, I think, does cost them, right? And you can see that maybe the more disciplined North American teams with, and you can actually see right here that Masters Tokyo, Champions LA, Masters Shanghai, Boostio sent them home every single time, a couple of times on EG, and then now, of course, 100T at Masters Shanghai. But it's been these, you know, maybe even, you know, more disciplined North American teams that just seem to have the edge over PRX in these series. Now, it was a really close-fought battle, obviously. This could have gone either way. I mean, game 1, 100T dominated on the breeze. Sunset, though, was a relatively swift one the other way. PRX had a good start. 100T faked a comeback, but it didn't matter in the end. But the Icebox, right, 14-12 banger. So many critical moments moments here in the map. Of course, we saw some from, this round especially, right? From Asuna was massive. Obviously, the Bang round in 25 was unbelievable as well. And as Tarek says, 2 teams from NA in the top 4. So, look, I think it's been no surprise that NA and just the Americas has been the strongest region. Certainly when Loud were good, that was absolutely true. And it's been said many a time over the last year or so that if you are the best team in North America or the best team in the Americas, you should be winning the international event. And that became true of Evil Geniuses last year towards the end of the season. This event, though, I thought that maybe it was the Pacific's time, right? They've not won an international LAN. I thought maybe it was finally time for a team that wasn't from Europe or from North America or from just the Americas, considering Loud, obviously, was actually going to win an international, but it's not going to happen unless Gen.G do it. It's still possible, but I did think this event that maybe it would be, PRX and Gen.G in the top 4, just because Fnatic are not the same, right? The EMEA region is in a bit of a shambles right now. In North America, Sentinels aren't even here, right? And NRG aren't here. They were obviously having a hard time. So, as it's turned out, though, still 2 teams from North America, even G2, they've made it to the top 4. Like, if you'd have told me a few months ago this would be your top 4 at Shanghai, I'd be like, excuse me? Like, what are you talking about? But no, that is the top 4 we have, and an absolutely deserving top 4, I would say. Heretics making it is pretty cool. Benji Fish is just playing better and better. Of course, that happened after this series where they dispatched a FUT Esports 2-0. I will say as well, this makes it look even worse on Fnatic, the fact that they lost to these guys, because, again, this is still not really a full-strength Team Heretics. Obviously, Patty Tech is there and doing a very stellar job. Miniboo is still their ideal man, but, Patty Tech's doing a great job and deserves a lot of credit. I guess after the tournament, he'll probably be gone and Miniboo will be back in. Although, if they were to win, if Heretics win the tournament, what do you do? Right, do you put Miniboo back in? Do you keep Patty Tech in? Like, what's the plan there, right? Because, in the same way that Sentinels, the Zeltis Pancada stuff, will Miniboo live to regret not playing this tournament? Because if they win it, he might get dropped or benched, right? Because, I don't think that's probably going to happen, but honestly, who knows? Because they're playing really well with this situation right now. Maybe not good enough is what I would potentially say on current evidence here, but, FUT Esports, the team that vanquished Fnatic, just got crushed here, right? 13-7, 13-4, not even close. So Heretics advance, they get to the top 4, and it's going to be an incredible bracket from here. So we're a couple of days away now from the Mercedes-Benz Arena. G2 Gen.G is the upper final. Gen.G, they are going to be the tournament favourites, right? They've beaten Fnatic, they've beaten 100 Thieves. They go in here as the favourites again to take down G2 and make it to the grand finals, and potentially still be a Pacific winner of this event. But I'm just not so sure it's going to happen, right? Just based on history, the fact that PaperX are now gone. Like, if there was one event for them to get 2 Pacific teams into the top 4, this was probably it, but it's still not happened. But very much intrigued to your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, take care, and I'll see you next time.